Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this week's Clarity Soft training webinar. Today is Tuesday, June 23rd, 2020. My name is Susan Arnold. I'm Implementation Specialist here at Clarity Soft, and our topic for today is list actions. List actions are found under a menu that is in all of the modules in Clarity Soft, and I think sometimes it's a menu that most of us as users tend to ignore and never explore. But there's some very good functionalities under here that can help you do things where you're acting upon multiple records all at once. So our goal today is to go through and first of all, look at what list actions there are in the different modules, and then walk through different scenarios of how you can use them to help make your working inside of ClaritySoft a little bit more efficient. So hopefully I'll be giving you some different ideas that you can use in your own database. There might be some things you want to add to your database as far as some custom fields that will help you filter lists so that you can perform list actions on those filtered lists. So hopefully you're going to get some good ideas. So as I said, list actions are those functions that can act upon more than one record at the same time, thus list. And so we're going to look at things and learn techniques for navigating from one module to another. For example, in accounts, you could filter your list of accounts and then select those accounts and go to list actions and choose view contacts to see all the contacts for those accounts, which then would allow you to select those contacts, go to list actions and say email the contacts, okay? Or you might want to view all the activities for selected accounts. So in each module, like I said, there are different things that you can do under the list actions, and we're going to go through them. So navigating from different places, editing multiple records at the same time to save you and your other users time, sending email, which is probably the one you're the most familiar with, exporting data out to Excel. You can select a list and then export those records out to Excel, and then adding activities. Where you can add you can add the same activity to multiple records, which can be very helpful as well. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. And I am in my ClaritySoft. I'm actually going to point to the leads module first. List actions are found in all the modules, and you simply click up here and you get your drop-down list. So you will see email, leads, that's in everybody. Everybody has access to that. Marketing email you may or may not have. If you don't have the marketing module, you will not see this. But group edit means that you can edit multiple records all at the same time. For example, you may want to set a particular custom field, like you want to find all the people that are in a particular industry. And you go down and select them on the left over here, and the check boxes is what you use to select multiple records. And then you do a group edit, change the field, or bring up the field and set the setting, and all the records are updated at once. Very cool. Export to Excel. This is another one that you as a user may or may not see. It's controlled by your admin person, so you might not see this option. It's there. Action plans. Action plans are basically a group of activities that you can bundle together and save as an action plan name. And then you can apply the action plan. So when you apply the action plan to multiple records, all the activities that you've put into the action plan are dropped in at once. This can be a really nice savings of time for either new leads, or you have certain things that you want to do in sequence for a new lead, or perhaps a new customer comes in and you have follow-up activities you want to make sure get done over a span of time. So we'll be looking at that. Creating documents. We have a document merge capability where you can basically, it's a Word clone, and you're able to merge fields into a document, and then you can send the document either to one person or to multiple people, and it does basically a mail merge for you, creates a PDF, and then you can email them all to multiple people. And then adding activities. If you wanted to select multiple records, then you can choose to add a new activity. For example, you might want to assign a particular person to make phone calls to certain companies or organizations to schedule meetings or something like that. So you can choose the organizations and then say new activity, assign the activity to the person that's supposed to do it, and save it. That person gets all of the activities listed in their activity to-do list, and they go through and make those calls. And then logging an activity is to log an activity that's already done. Maybe you have a meeting with 4 or 5 people at the same company, or perhaps across a couple companies, and you want to log the notes for all of them at one time rather than go to 4 separate people. So as long as you can pull them up and see them all, select them, and then you can put in the same activity. All right. Deleting records, you can select multiple records and delete. Again, this may be something you do not see according to what your admin person has allowed in the system. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and do some things here. And as you go to the different modules, you will see different list actions in each module that we can do. So let's see. I guess we'll start with the simplest one, emailing, which you're the most familiar with, I would imagine. So if I went to contacts and I wanted to search, I want to find all the people that are in the purchasing department. So in my contact record, I do have a role here that says what functionality the person has. This will be a custom field that you could add. Again, the main thing for a lot of these list actions is putting in a custom field that allows you to search to pull up the list that you want. So you might need to go back after this webinar and sit down, look at your database and say, well, what are the ways I want to pull things up? And then maybe you might need to add some additional custom fields. I have some different ones here, like I have industry type where I can pull my people up by industry type at account or contact level. I have a communications list here. This is for what types of communications does the person or should the person receive. So again, think of things that you may want, and then you might have to add those fields in the database to make it easier for you to find them. So let's say I want to pull up all the purchasing people that I have. So I'm going to do advanced search. I'm going to go to the contact role, and then I'm going to choose purchasing. So I have my list of people. Another little hint is when you are going to search on a particular field, put that field in your columns so that when you do complete the search, you can see that, yes, you did indeed get the correct data. And just as a quick review, you go to the vertical ellipsis button, column settings, and then move any column of data that you want to see from the left to the right. So just a quick review there. So let's say I want to email all these people. I can simply come over here, click in the top checkbox to select all the records, list actions, email contacts, and it will pull up. And next window here is to say, well, what do you want? Just the records that are marked as checked or all filtered records? In this instance, either choice would work. If you have a long list of greater than 100, then you would want to pick all filtered records, because the checkboxes only go down to the top first 100 if you're set at 100, so the first page. All right. I click apply, and that will bring up an email form. I can type my email, add my subject line, or if I have a template created, I can open the template, and when I'm done, I click send. So for the most part, most of you probably know how to do this, and then these emails will go out through your Outlook or your Gmail, whichever you're connected to, and they will be in the sent folder in either Outlook or your Gmail, and then they will also be recorded under the closed activities for the contacts, okay? So I'm not going to send these because these are fake emails right now. But that's what you would do, just click send. Actually, I can do this one. I'll remove these two. And then send. Oops. Okay. And just again, as a review, when you're doing these kinds of emails, you are able to pull in the field to say hello and personalize it. Okay, and then I click send. So that's there. So tells me, yes, I'm going to send one, and then I will receive that in my inbox shortly. So that's doing an email. However way you want to filter, you can do it. All right. Now, another iteration on this kind of goes along with navigation. As I said, you might need to filter at the account level. And so, because the field that you want to filter on does not exist in contacts, and you need to email from contacts, okay? So what you can do is go to your accounts, and then you can filter. So let's say I want to find all of the manufacturers that are in Ohio. So again, I can go to advanced search. I'm going to choose industry type, manufacturing, Ohio, search. I get 2, all right, and I want to email these 2 people. So I can select list actions. Now the list actions that I want to do here is to view the contacts. So I'm going to do all the records. I get only 1 contact here, so that's fine, and then I can choose to email that contact. So that's how you can filter in accounts and then view things, view your contacts, and then do an email from contacts. So that's a navigation technique. Notice under list actions in contacts, I can view accounts. So I might want to pick some contacts and then view the accounts that are associated with those contacts for whatever reason I want to go to accounts. Or I can go to activities and view all the activities associated with those selected contacts. You also have the ability to view the activities from the account level. So, if you haven't really explored this menu, just work your way down through and see what's there. All right. So if I bring back all my contacts. Now, let's say we want to update some fields. So I have some blanks in my industry types. Now, a way to find these, you can do it a couple of ways. I can click in the column heading and it will sort. And I click it a second time and it's going to put all of the blank ones at the top of the list. So now I can see, well, I do have quite a few that are blank. All right, didn't look too bad before, but I do have quite a few that are blank. Another way that you can do this is you can create a filter. And in this case, you would need to go to the standard filter tab and you would say industry type is empty. When I click search, then it's going to pull up all of those records where the industry type has no data in it. The kind of the advantage to doing this is I now see, oh, I have 157 records that I need to fix. Now, if you have 4,000 or 5,000 records in your database, you might have way more than that. And what I would do then is I would save this, because I might have to work on this over time. And then I will have this in my list. So you can see here, industry type empty. And what's the advantage to doing this is if I decide, and this is kind of hard then to filter from there because you don't really know, you can't really filter any other way, maybe by city or something. But I'm going to come down here. Let's see. I'm trying to look for healthcare. I'll do healthcare. So here's this, here's this. I'm just looking down through here and picking the things that I know are healthcare. I'm going to do that one first. So I'll just do a few, not take up a lot of time. So I just kind of scroll down, click in all the ones that I know. Now, if you have this set to 100, you go to the bottom of the page, but do not go to the second page or you lose all your settings on the first page. So you can only do up to one page at a time, all right? So I'm not going to worry about doing too many more. So once I have them selected, then I go to List Actions, Group Edit. And do all the records marked as checked. And then I'm going to select my industry type field, which is at the bottom half of the list because it's a custom field. And then I'm going to choose healthcare and click apply. Now, what's going to happen is those two records are going to disappear because my filter says the industry type needs to be empty. Well, it's no longer empty. So now I have 155 records left. So the advantage here is that as you do these, your list is going to get shorter, 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 and show you only the ones that are left. So you can do it either way. Just do the sort and let them all be there, and then they will stay in the list, and you just can keep sorting to get the blank ones at the top, or you can create the filter and save it. It works, you know, I like doing it this way because then I know how many I have left to do. And my list gets shorter till I get down to like 10 of them, and then I got to figure it out. But you just kind of keep going until you're done. So the group edit is really nice from that standpoint to update category type fields, where you go down, you select the ones that fit in the same category, do group edit, and then set the field for those selected records. All right. Let me go back to all accounts. All right, so let's say now I want to, well, let's do an export a list to Excel. So let's say I want to get a list from my opportunities module. And maybe I want to, maybe I want a list of all my opportunities that I have won, just for the heck of it. Or let's see. Let's do all the active, or let's do active this month. For some reason, I want a list of those. So this one would mean it's an active opportunity according to the stage, and the close date is this month. That doesn't give us very many, so let's do all active. All active means it has to be an active stage, and the close date doesn't matter, okay? I should probably do, my opportunities are messy because the close dates are not really up to date. Anyway, okay, so let's say I want to export those. That's 364 records, which is quite a few. Let's maybe do this. I'm going to do a time filter here so that I can see. So let's say I want these to be close date year to date. So that should give us just 2020. Oh, yes, I have to select a time period. So again, you can see that for everything that I'm doing some sort of filter. And that's usually what you want. So now I'm down to 22, which makes more sense. All right, so when I get my list, then again, click here to select. My 22 is less than 100, so I've basically selected everything on the page. Go to List Actions, Export to Excel, and I could do either one of these here, all records marked as checked or all filtered records. Then I get to choose, well, what fields do I want to come out? Okay, so right now I have the account, the contact, the opportunity name, all of this information. Maybe there's some custom fields. Maybe I want to pull over the industry type. Again, in your spreadsheet or in your opportunities or whatever records you're pulling out, you would have this information, you know, what you want, okay? So you pick what you want. Oh, maybe I want to pull territory out. And you basically click apply, and ClaritySoft will then bring up an Excel file for you to open, and you have your list in Excel. So it's a quick way that if you want to get a list out of the database, that you can do that. And again, it's possible that you do not have that option. So if you don't see that option under your list actions, that has been turned off by your admin in the database, okay? So that's there. But just kicks it out, gives you a list, off you go, okay? So that's very simple. That can be done from any module if you have the option to do it. All right, now let's go to, let's do action plans. First of all, I want to show you action plans so you know what they are. And this will be, if you have admin rights in your database, then you will be able to see this. If you do not, then you won't, and you'd have to talk to your admin user. Also, action plans, whether you have them or not, depends upon the level of ClaritySoft that you have. So in the settings, you will see action plans, and then you can create any number of action plans that you want. So for example, I have a new lead action plan here. And you can give it a name. You can then, when you're setting up the dates, exclude weekends, so it's only looking at a 5-day week when you're counting. And then these are my different activities that I have added, okay? And when you add a new activity, you get to pick, this is the subject line. You pick the activity type, which will be whatever activity types you have in your database. Then you can set a priority, just like you do in a normal activity. And then this is kind of the key part here. The activity can be assigned to a specific user if that user always does this activity. Like maybe there's a user that is in charge of always sending out a contract or getting the information on a contract or something like that. Then you can assign it to the specific user. If instead you want the activity to go to the person who actually owns the record, then you would choose record owner. So it gives you that capability there. And then you have, how soon do you want this action to start after it's applied? Well, in my case, initial call, it should start the day that the action plan is applied, okay, and be due within, say, we'll say this, 2 days, all right? You can have a reminder set. That can get a little messy getting a bunch of emails on these things, but you can set a reminder. And then down here, this select category, this is a category thing that's in activities, which I don't think anybody uses, so you don't need to worry about it. And then this is a custom category, so ignore that one. All right, so when you, it's because I changed it. So you set all of your activities and you keep clicking the add activity to add a new activity and put in what you want. And what's nice is you can see here, this is starting within 2 days, or 0, qualifying questionnaire to be sent within 2 days. The follow-up is done within 6, and the second follow-up is done within 10. So with the action plan, you can set up how far out you want things to go. So for example, with a new customer, you may want to do follow-ups, after a week, after 2 weeks, after 4 weeks, after 3 months. And so you just create those activities and set the time for the activities. All right, so that's what an action plan is. And you can add as many activities as you need and as many action plans as you need. All right, so once you've done that, then you go to the module where you want to apply an action plan. You are able to apply an action plan in leads, in contacts, and in opportunities. So basically anywhere where you have activities available to you, you can apply an action plan. So in leads, let's say that you get new leads coming into your leads module, either from your web form, web form that you've connected to ClaritySoft, or you might import a list of leads that you got from a trade show, however they come in. And perhaps there's one person in charge of then taking those new leads and assigning them to an owner. So you can see here, I've got some new leads that came in today. So I have assigned them to a specific owner, okay? And so what I want to do is I want to set an action plan for all these leads that have come in today. Now again, you could have a filter set where you could say the creation date is today. And all you have to do is run the filter and you've got your list. I don't know that I have one. No. But you could create that. Then you wouldn't have to go down, and cherry pick. You'd have to just click all of them that are filtered. So I've got these. I now can go to List Actions, Action Plan, and then I get to choose my action plan. Here's my new lead action plan. And I get to set the start date. So I can set a start date for whenever I want this to start. I can start it today, tomorrow, next week, whenever, okay? So I want it to start today. And then I want it to, you can see my 4 activities here. They're assigned to the record owner. So now this is the cool part. This first activity is supposed to start today and be done by the 25th. This one starts on the 25th and should be done by the 25th. But you can see the sequence now is according to those timed or those number of days out that I set in the action plan. ClaritySoft calculates the date, which is way cool. So if I decide to start this on Monday instead of today, notice the dates will all recalculate for me. There you go. So now it's starting on the 29th, the 1st, the 7th, and the 13th. So it's really nice to be able to do these, and it can help automate. I'll put it back on the 23rd because then I will see things. Okay. So we've got that, and then you can set it as a calendar event if you want, and you can set to send the person an email, the assignee an email, so you can choose what you want to do here. So I'm going to save this, and now when I go to, oops, here, there are all the activities all laid in with the dates and assigned to the owner of the record, Susan. I just set 4 sets of 4 activities or 16 activities all in what, about 4 clicks. So that really makes it easy that you can assign that bundle of activities just in a few clicks, and all the activities are there. So then when we go to the activities module and I switch to Katie, Katie will see her activities, and these again are very old. I need to get rid of these things. Okay, let me choose Katie again. Anyway, we should get a time filter here. This database was created a couple years ago, and a bunch of activities were imported at that time, so I've never cleaned them out. So let's do, oh, I don't want creation date. What I want is, why am I not seeing this? Well, we'll do creation date and this day. Oh, I'm in quotations. How in the world did I get in quotations? No wonder things are goofy. What did I do? So today's activities for Katie. All right, we're gonna do start date. I don't know how I got into quotations. So we should see then the things that are for, there we go. So here are the ones that were just created. So she has an initial call to Sandy Ridge Country Club and Chesapeake Marketing Solutions. So those are, and another thing, I'm sure you all know this, but maybe not if you don't use the leads module. Whenever you have activities for leads, they always have an asterisk in front of them. And so that's how you can tell that this is from the leads module. So just another little visual that you need to know. So we have all of these are today's activities. Okay, so these are supposed to be done today. And then tomorrow, if we look at future activities now, then we can see her future activities that will be the other activities she's supposed to do for these new records. So there we go. So you can see then the 7th, the 1st, okay, and 627. And again, if I sort these from newest to oldest, there we go. Now they're in order. So that's how you can assign that action plan. The action plan will calculate the dates. And if in the action plan you assign the activity to the record owner, then those activities will automatically be assigned to the correct person and you're done. So set up the action plan and then you simply apply it and you're done. And you can probably think of different things. You know, leads module is a good place for follow-up on leads. Account or contacts is a good place for after you have a new account come in, somebody becomes a customer, you then can apply the action plan to the new customer, and in, you know, again, a couple of clicks, all those activities are dropped into place, and then the sales rep simply goes to activities each day and sees, who am I supposed to talk to today? Because it all shows up here. Like here, there was one for here, 6-month check-in. So this is popping up as a 6-month check-in all the way out in November. So that's really a nice functionality to be able to use. Okay. All right. So that's that one. Action plans. Hopefully you got some ideas in your head for that one. Now let's say that we want to do, we want to schedule an activity for multiple records. So I'm gonna use this communications field. Somebody I was talking to last week was asking me how to do something where their company or organization schedules immunization clinics. And so they wanted to start calling people to schedule the next one. And so, and she wanted to be able to assign the activity for the different organizations to different people. So we were talking about how best to do that. So what I was saying to her is what you could do is, first of all, you could come here and select a user's records, and you would see only Katie's records, and she has 31. So at that point, you could say, all right, I want you to call. Now, again, here we've got multiple contacts. So you may need to go down and, you know, kind of uncheck, you know, check the person that you know is there as you go down through here. And, you know, maybe there are a couple people at the same organization you might want to talk to, so you could do that. But you go down through and see what you've got. Once you've selected those, and in this case, you're going to see all 31, so you can go down and, you know, check the ones that you want to contact. Then you go to list actions, and you would say, instead of an action plan, you would do a new activity. And then you would put in, you know, call to schedule, oh, I'll just say for fall clinic or something. The activity type is a phone call. Notice this is yellowed out because you have multiple contacts, so it can't show you the specific contact. And then you would say, well, I want you to start this on the 23rd, or maybe, maybe you don't want her to start till next week, and then you can choose what date you want to start. If my calendar comes up, I'm not sure why it's not. Okay, we'll start it today, and then you could put a note in, call to schedule clinic. And then you assign it to, see, I'm making this, but I want to assign it to Katie. Okay, and that's probably because of her rights in the database. These two things you won't, this is my custom field, that's that category field again. So I can assign it to Katie, all right, and I don't want to show it on her calendar because I don't want her to have a whole bunch of these things all smashed together on the calendar. So I'm going to call these and then I save it. So what will happen now is 30 some activities or 28 activities will all be assigned to these all at once. Then they will show up in her to-do list starting today. Okay, so you might want to do them in batches. To give her so many per week. And again, when I look at now the open activities, there's the call to schedule for fall clinic. So they're all there. It's assigned to Katie. So she now has 31 activities to do. That if I go back to the activities module and bring up Katie, she should have all of these activities there. So it's a way to schedule multiple activities all at the same time. And again, you probably want to think of a way to bring the list down a little shorter or whatever. So you might have to put in some custom fields. So you can see here that she's got all of these activities. These today's activities are here because from 2018, because they've never been completed. But I'm going to show you how to do that too. Okay. All right. For some reason, this doesn't. There we go. So here are all those activities that I just did. And again, while you're in activities, if you wanted to get your list down, you can click in the quick search and just say fall clinic or some part of the subject line and hit the enter key. Then it's going to pull up the 27 activities because I eliminated some of the people that are all for this fall clinic. Okay, so what will happen is she calls these people. She can then open this up and put any notes in, or she can simply slide over here and say it's completed, and it drops off the list. So, as she makes the calls, she can mark them as being completed, and then they drop off the list. So now she's got 26 more to do. So that's how you can do that with assigning activities to other people that maybe you do the assigning. They get the activity and then they start doing them, okay? And you can select multiple contacts to assign them to. All right, now, I guess while we're in activities, because we have all these old ones, I've got these going back to December of 2018. So these all need to be completed. And this is something, all your people need to be aware of, that they should be doing this sort of thing. So if I went down along here and I just started clicking in all these activities to say, yeah, I did all these. Okay, and you could filter with the time filter to pull up anything from 2018. I'll just do a few, but I select them and then I can go to list actions and I can do a complete, okay? The other cool thing is you can do a complete and new. So if you're working on current activities that today you're making those calls to the clinics, you could say, well, I want to complete the ones I made, but I also want to set a new, a new activity to follow up to confirm in another 2 months or something like that. And then you could add the new activity for all of those selected records all at the same time. So that's kind of a nice functionality. But here, if I do just complete, you're going to see all of these activities disappear from my list because now they're completed and they're no longer on my to-do list. So it's telling me I'm completing 6. Are you sure? And bingo, they're going to go away and they are now on my completed list. So I'll do completed this week to make the list shorter. And I will then see those activities that I just completed. So again, just explore this list actions menu and you will, probably discover some cool things that you didn't know were there. All right. Let's see. So we did new activities. We can log an activity kind of the same way. Let's go back to contacts. Actually, let's do this. Let's do this in it. Can we do this in accounts? No, we have to do it in contacts. So let's say I visited some companies today. And again, I may need to start in accounts and filter there to select those accounts and then view contacts and then add the activity in contacts. So you may have to figure this out. So let's say I visited a couple companies today and I'm just going to pick some random ones here. So I talked to this person, I talked to this person, and this person. All right. And they're probably all in different states and that's not possible, but I talked to them on the phone. Okay. So list actions, I can go to and say log an activity. So this is an activity that's already done that maybe I called them all and I was doing, a follow-up call, whatever. It's got the date and the time, and then I can put a note in, and I'll just type something that would apply to all of them, and then I simply click save, and I now have added a completed activity for each of these people that I will then see under the closed activities. So it's a quick way that if you're going down and doing the same kinds of activities with multiple people, you can then view it. So here it is, follow-up call. And then if I did go to Peter here and say, well, I talked with Peter more specifically about this, and I could add more notes to him, but the general activity of being added is all done to multiple people all at the same time. So it just makes it faster, easier to do. All right, let's see here. Merging accounts. This is another list action that can be very helpful. Sometimes when you import data, you end up getting some duplicates unintentionally, but if the company names are not spelled the same way, then Clarity Soft will create 2 of them because it says they're not the same. So if I'm searching here, I have 2 of the same company here, Brady Architecture LLC and Brady Architecture. So what I want to do is I want to put these 2 together because you can see this one has more data, and you may want to open the records, and just check which one has the better set of data, and that's the one perhaps you merge to. So when you want to merge two accounts, you click in the checkboxes next to the accounts. You go to List Actions and you choose Merge. And then it's going to bring up a window and it's going to say, well, okay, which one do you want to be the main account? So I can pick which one. This one has a little more data to it. It will merge them together. They do have two different owners. So I have to click in the checkbox to say which one to go to. So I'm going to merge to this. And you click it, you click merge. And Brady Architecture LLC is now gone. Now, once you've merged the accounts, the next step that you definitely want to follow is to look at the contacts, because it's possible with the two separate accounts, you might have the same contact at the two accounts, and now you need to merge contacts together. So what you do is you click in here, you go to List Actions, View Contacts. This is how you use this. Now it's going to show you those people that are in. Now, if I didn't get anything, it's because I'm only looking for things owned by Katie Hall. So there are my contacts. I have a Jackie Mead and I have a Jacqueline Mead. They're spelled differently. Okay. So this one is the more complete record. And what I can do then is click in these two and do a merge. And then I pick which one I want to merge to. And again, once you merge it, if you want to go in and change Jackie to Jacqueline, you can go in and do that. And then you can put Jackie in the salutation field. Okay, I'm getting a question here. Include under list actions the action plan and create. Is there a new version? Stan, it's probably, if you have the professional level of ClaritySoft, then you won't have the action plans and the create documents. The accelerator level and the, I think what we call the enterprise level, I know for sure both of those do, but you may have just the professional level. Okay, I don't know how long you've had your ClaritySoft. It's possible too, if you have an older one, it's just some of the functionality wasn't included in the plan that you originally purchased. Okay, so check with your account rep and you can ask your account rep about that. And then you can figure it out. So now, yeah, I've merged my Brady architecture and I've merged my contact. So you want to check that. You start at the account level to merge duplicate accounts, merge those first, then view the contacts for the merged account and see if you've got contacts that you need to merge together to create one. And sometimes you might have, we could have had Jackie Mead twice, and so it'll put Jackie Mead and Jackie Mead with a 1 in parentheses. And again, you still need to merge the two together so you don't have a duplicate. But that's a nice functionality. It's very easy to use. So, you know, if you come across those in your database where you do have duplicates, you can merge them and clean up your database. Because data cleanup when you're first importing is kind of a long and tedious job for whoever gets stuck with that. And usually there's still some things that need to be cleaned up once the data is imported into ClaritySoft. And it's good to do it as early as possible if you're just starting with ClaritySoft before you've started to add activities and opportunities and all that kind of stuff, although it will merge everything together, any of the child records. All right, now, creating merged documents. If you have a level of ClaritySoft that has this is a relatively new functionality. In contacts, in opportunities, quotes, and sales, we have the ability to create a it's a Word type document, and it allows you to put merge fields into it. So you're kind of creating a word merge document template. So I'm going to go here to contacts, and I'm going to bring up a short list here. So these are all good email addresses. And then to create a new merge document, you simply go to the module where you want to create it, and then you open one record. Doesn't matter which one. And once you open the record, up here in the little toolbar, you have a new document button. And you can have a new document or a new template. So if you wanted to create a new template, then you give it a name. I'm just going to call it webinar template. And you click create. Once you do that, then you're going to get a blank document form. Okay? And I'm not going to go into great detail on this because there's another recording out there on document merge that you can pull off of our knowledge base. But basically, you can type whatever you want, your text, and then you are able to insert merge fields. There's a mail merge button, and you insert a field, and you will have the ability to insert any of the fields that are in this particular module, including any custom fields. And they can be pulled into the document. So just like you do in Word, where you create a merge document, you can say, well, I want this field inserted, and then when you run the template, it'll pull the data in, okay? So that's just what you would do. So let me back out of this and then show you a template that I've already got. Let's see. I'll just do this one. So once I create and save the template and I choose it, then it asks me, do I want to create a new document or edit the existing template? Well, I want to create a new document, and then I'm just going to do coffee promo. So this is to one person right now, okay? So this is to 1-800-CUPCAKE and the one person. So it's going to pull in the data. So saying, hello, Susan, blah, blah, blah. And it pulls in the company name. Here, your cupcake. I need to put another space in there. So it basically creates a merged document. And you can see, you can format it. It's very similar to Word. There's some differences. It's called a rich text editor, but most of the functionality of Word is here. So if you're good at creating Word documents, you can create something really nice. So that is creating this just for this one person. But the advantage now is that I can do this with multiple people. So once I've got my template made, I can then go to my contact list and select, again, filter. So you may need to create a filter, and then select the records. So I've got my filter here, this special email blast list, that all the emails are to me, various emails, so they all work. So I've got my list, and then I can say, okay, I want all of these. I go to list actions, create documents, and then I choose my document. So you see I get all my templates here. And then I can either print them all and physically mail them, or I can email them. So what happens now, and this is way cool, is that it's going to open the template, or it's going to open an email, but the template is going to be attached down here as a PDF. Okay, so I'm just going to type in, oops, coffee promo. And then again, I can type hello and insert a field and put in the person's first name. And then I can type my email to them, you know. Now I could also insert a template that I've saved, an email template that I've saved in here if I wanted to, okay? But this is now attached as a PDF file. So when I click send, it's going to send out to all these people this email, and it's also going to save a copy of that sent document under the Documents tab. There's a new tab. So here it is, coffee email. Oh, that's from, wait. Here it is, 6/23/2020. So this is it, coffee promo. So any document that you send will be saved under the Documents tab. So this could be used for contracts, things like that, not just promotional things, but contract type documents. Anything that you can think of, you can use, and you can create any number of templates that you want to create. So those are all my list actions ideas. Once again, I've gone past my time. Here you'll see my email has come in over here. So there's my email, and there's my document attached. Oops. So it goes out as a PDF. So again, it can be any type of a merged document that you want to create. It could be kind of a proposal document, could be a contract type document, whatever you can think of. And the documents exist in contacts and let's see, opportunities and quotes and sales. Okay, so those merged documents are available in all those different modules. So hopefully I've given you some good ideas, got your brains thinking about ways you can use the list actions. And if you're not the admin user, you can go talk to your admin user and say, hey, you know, I got some good ideas here. So let's finish up here real quick. Oops. And again, if you need any help with anything, call support at 888-838-7487 extension 2, or email them at support@claritysoft.com. Or if you are in Quick Start with Linda or myself, talk to us, we'll help you. And if you have any ideas for new topics that you'd like to learn about, please email us at info@claritysoft.com. Critiques, all welcome. And with that, I will let you go. These recordings, as you probably know, are all out online after a couple days once we edit them a bit. And you can always access them online. So look for the one on document merge. It's from a couple months ago, and then you can review that if you're interested in that. Thank you for attending today. We hope you enjoyed yourself and have a great rest of the day.